Eric, while the Houston Police Department is working tirelessly to find missing Malia and the family's missing silver Nissan Altima, we are learning new information from Sugar Land Police, the very first agency to speak with that stepfather, Darian Vince. They tell us his story changed multiple times. It was inside Houston Methodist Hospital in Sugar Land where the story of missing 4-year-old Malia Davis was first told. Sugar Land police responded here late Saturday night when Darian Vince, the girl's stepfather, arrived with fresh wounds on his face, telling people he was attacked. An off-duty Sugar Land police officer working security at the hospital called in the police. Speaking to us only by phone, Sugar Land spokesperson Doug Adolph described their encounter, saying, "During the initial interview, the man's story did change several times, and some of what he told us just didn't add up." Houston police were called to the hospital to take over the investigation. They say Vince told them he was on the way to Bush Airport Friday night when he pulled over at Greens Road and 59 to check a tire. He says Malia and his 1-year-old son were in his car when they were ambushed by 3 Hispanic men driving a 2010 blue Chevy pickup similar to this.
2 Hispanic males get out. One of them makes a comment saying that Malia looks very nice, looks very sweet. The other male hits Darian in the head.
The stepfather says he was in and out of consciousness until the kidnappers dropped him off Saturday around 6 p.m. at Highway 6 in Sugar Land with only his baby boy. Police say he made his way to the hospital 5 hours later, still carrying his son.
Hand out flyers hoping to find 4-year-old Malia Davis. There's been no sign of her since Friday when her stepfather claims they were kidnapped by 3 men near Bush Airport. But he says he and his son were let go the next day in Sugar Land. Houston police releasing new photos of the stepfather's car today, the one he says the kidnappers stole. Now, you've been asking us a lot of questions about Malia. One of them is this: why did she have brain surgery a few months ago?
Our investigative team spent the last few days going through court records and discovered the answer. But in order to explain what happened, we have to reveal some family issues, some allegations of abuse. And we are sharing this information not to point a finger at one person or try to influence public opinion, but to be transparent about what we've learned and to answer a question you've been asking. Here's investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes with what she discovered.
You can't deny the pure joy that jumps off of 4-year-old Malia's face in the pictures that have been in the public eye since her disappearance. Those were perhaps the happier days. Court records we uncovered paint a darker picture of the little girl's life over the last several months. Documents we obtained from the Harris County clerk show that last August, the Department of Family and Protective Services received a report alleging physical abuse and neglectful supervision of Malia. She was living with her mother, Brittany Bowens, and stepfather, Darian Vince, at the time. The state got involved after Malia's mother brought her to the hospital with a head injury. Doctors had to do surgery to remove half of her skull. When Malia got out of ICU, doctors ordered that she wear a helmet for 12 to 24 months while she healed. But that was not Malia's first trip to the ER. According to records, 3 weeks earlier on July 10th, Bowens took Malia to the ER after she was throwing up blood. Doctors reported Malia was extremely lethargic. Malia was treated and sent home. The very next week, on July 28th, Malia was back in the hospital for a cut to her forehead. Medical professionals reported she had blood just outside of her brain. Neither parent was able to tell doctors what could have caused it. Bowens said she was hurt after falling from a chair, but medical professionals said that would not have caused the serious internal injuries. Doctors reported they were concerned about abuse, but in the end, the court found they could not confirm whether or not those injuries were caused by abuse. The CPS caseworker noted she had reason to believe there was neglectful supervision on Brittany Bowens' part, but nothing more. Child Protective Services has had temporary custody of Malia since August, but they confirmed she and her siblings were placed with a relative in February. The court ordered that Malia's parents take a parenting class. According to those records, neither has done so.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again. to hit you with a video. Now, this video right here comes out of Houston, Texas. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Texas, in the great city of Houston, all the surrounding areas. And I want to thank you all, my subscribers, and also certain family members for reaching out and sharing the story with me and asking me, am I going to do a story about this little girl, Malia Davis, you know, who is 4 years old. And when I first seen the story, I'm like, well, okay, I'll get to it because I have a lot of other stories and stuff. Not saying that her case is not as serious as other cases, but as I look further into the story, I'm like, well, let me just wait and see what more develops, because after I went and checked it out, I heard what the dad said. It did not even make no sense when I first initially heard it last Saturday. Now, this incident allegedly took place last Friday. I use the word allegedly very loosely. And for those who watch the Trey King show, know by now what that word means, loose. So that means it could be anything. So the story goes like this, that the dad, you know what I'm saying, with a stepdad really, he was on his way to the airport, to George Bush Intercontinental Airport, to pick up his fiance, his girlfriend or whatever. They're not married, so it's not his wife. But he was on his way to the airport to pick her up. Now, the mom just so happened to be, which is Malia mom. Now, the guy, Darian Vance, is Malia stepdad. So they was on their way to the airport to pick up Malia biological mom, along with her 1-year-old brother, who happened to be Darian Vance, you know, biological son. So this all allegedly took place around 5 o'clock. Now, as he's going to the airport to pick up Malia's mom, he said he started hearing popping sounds. And, you know, you hear popping sounds coming from your car. It can either be your engine, your transmission, or you may have something in your tire or something, or you may be going on a flat. So he says he pulls over the car on 59 Greens Road, and 3 Mexican men. But then he also says 3 Hispanic men. But people need to understand it's a difference between Hispanic and Mexican also. And my people can tell you that also. But maybe he got it confused. So we'll just give him that part. So he said as he's checking the car or whatever, 3 men happened to pull up in a truck, a blue truck, like a GMC. And you know, trucks all over Texas. It's easy for them to say a truck because just like the last story of the girl that got shot at the Walmart, got killed, it was a truck involved, and come to find out it was 2 other guys or whatever, and that story is still ongoing. Notice we don't hear too much about that. But, you know, so when people mention trucks, you know, trucks are the #1 sellers in Texas. Most people have trucks. Anyway, back to the story. So he says these 3 Mexican men, Hispanic men, at first what he said Hispanic, but then he eventually changed it to Mexican. Now, I guess he don't realize the difference. So anyway, he said they approach his vehicle, and as they're approaching the vehicle, one of the Mexican men yells out, I don't know if he go Yo Holmes or ASA, I don't know how he did it or whatever. He said, Malia look very sweet. She's very pretty. Number one, how did the guy even get that close to the car? And also, why did you even let them get that close to the car? So that means they had to go past you unless you was at the front of the car. Because if you was at the back of the car, you know what I'm saying? Why would you even let them pass you to even look and see whoever was in the car? And also, the car had tinted windows on it also. So evidently those guys could see very good. You know what I'm saying? Even at 5 o'clock. Okay, you could challenge yourself. Go outside 5 o'clock when the sun is shining and look at somebody's car that has tinted windows. And you know, some of those tint be very dark. And the way it looked on that Nissan Altima, it looked very dark. And can you see how a person look and make out their distinguished features or whatnot? You could be looking at some of anything. So for them to say that sounds ironic, but that's just to plant the seed for maybe they want to just kidnap the girl for perverted reasons, for sexual reasons and stuff. So you have to be careful how they throw things out there. So then he says that all of a sudden they attack him, they jump him, and he winds up in the back of the truck along with his 1-year-old son, along with Malia. Then he said he's going in and out of consciousness. So I can believe that story if I look at somebody and see their head all swole up. You remember the show Martin Lawrence where he was fighting Tommy the Hitman Hearns when they had the song Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down, the hit song by Brand Nubian, when he was fighting Tommy and Tommy whooped his ass real bad and swole his head up. Now, if he looked at it like that, like he really took some injuries, like he was trying to defend his stepdaughter and his son, I can believe it. But when you look at this guy, Darian Vance, you don't see nothing but a scratch across his damn face. And that right there set off a huge alarm because I'm like, you don't even have knots on your head. You don't even have one May knot. And people might ask me, Trey, what do a May knot mean? A May knot is a knot on your head or your ass that you may not ever get rid of. That's what a may not is. Back to the story. So when you look at him, you don't see somebody who done been beat up and pummeled down. And also, where are the defensive wounds at? Where are the wounds that showing that you were trying to not only protect yourself, but protect your children? We don't see anything. No bloody knuckles, no fingernail missing, nothing like that. So basically, it's like, if it did go down, you just pretty much just got scratched up and let them do whatever. That's what it seemed like to me, because I don't see how you can be slipping in and out of countries unless you were that terrified or that petrified or afraid to go in and out of countries for a whole 24 hours. Wow. And imagine how far you can drive in 24 hours. You'd be damn near in Jamaica in 24 hours. So anyway, fast forward. So the mom, his girlfriend, says that a family member come and pick her up. She never thinks to call the police. She never thinks to call the authorities or anybody else in the family or whatnot and say, can y'all please try to find Darian and my child and my son? None of that ever happened. So fast forward later on, he winds up getting dropped off on Highway 6 toward Sugarland. Now, you know, I'm from Sugarland. So he says that it took him 5 hours to walk 1 mile. Now, remember, he was already allegedly gone for 24 hours, a whole day almost, because this happened around 5 p.m. Friday. Then you fast forward to 6 p.m. Saturday, so which is more than 24 hours, but we'll just give him 24 hours. So, number one, okay, was the baby diapers changed? Did the baby poop on itself just like normal children do, just like some grown-ups do? So I'm sure that this child had all kinds of other things going on with it. None of that never even mentioned. You can easily debunk some of these stories. So let's fast forward through that. Now, he then goes and says that somebody kidnapped his daughter when he walks to the police station. And I'm pretty sure instead of walking 5 hours with a 1-year-old baby, if you done allegedly just done got robbed and assaulted, and your daughter, your stepdaughter, whatever you want to call her, done got kidnapped, you'll go to the first house or the first businesses. And trust me, people in Texas, you know, people in down south, not saying it's nowhere else like that on the West Coast, in the North, or the East Coast, but down south, we're known for our Southern hospitality. We have hospitality. So meaning that we see somebody walking with a child, and they like they done been beat up, whether they like they beat up or not, we will offer some kind of comfort or assistance. So that don't make no sense right there also. But he says it took him 5 hours to walk 1 mile. And I highly doubt that very seriously. When you can easily go to any home or any businesses, gas station or whatever, and there's plenty of them, and you can call. But anyway, so the mom comes out. But before I say that part, so allegedly they took the car, whatever, but around 3 p.m., the car was seen on a surveillance camera in Sugarland, leaving out of Sugarland at 3 p.m. His car. So who was in the car at 3 p.m. if you done just got robbed the day before? Wow, that's kind of suspect, ain't it? And why did the mom wait so long to even call the police or whatever? And also, for this mom to sit up here and say before I read a quick snippet, I want to read what she said, which is very suspect. And, you know, I don't want nobody being lied on. That's why I'm not quick to jump and make videos like a lot of other people. You can do what you want to do on your channel, but I try to wait till more of the stuff develop. The mom says this: the media is really pissing me off with how they are portraying Darian. Forget Malia. You see what I'm saying? She's more worried about Darian than Malia. Shouldn't you be speaking up for Malia? Shouldn't you be mad at Darian also? Shouldn't you ask him, where is your defensive wounds at? What did you do? But Malia was in and out of hospital and also got taken away from her family. I'm not trying to paint these people out to be bad people. What I'm trying to do is make it more transparent for you all so you all can really see the narrative. Now, Malia was taken away from her family back in August and everything. She had severe head injuries, had half her skull removed, was in and out the hospitals and stuff. And every time she go to the hospital, the mom act like she didn't know what was wrong. The stepdad act like he didn't know what was wrong. But it's funny when the media get involved, because you got to understand, when it's a case like this, it's out of your control whether you're the parent or not. You feel me? Because the goal is, hopefully, to bring your child back home alive. But you more worried about a sorry-ass stepdaddy who didn't even look like he put up a fight. Because I don't see no swole eyes, no black eyes, no broken hand or nothing. I would have had my jaw broke, everything. They would have had to just kill me flat out, period. You know what I'm saying? About time they got through with that, they would have been too tired to kidnap my son or my stepdaughter or daughter, whatever you want to call her. But you don't see none of that. So the mom is like trying to make it out toward the public because the public is questioning, which we should, because we are tired of people feeding us a bunch of BS, a bunch of baloney. And she also goes on and says, Everybody wants to be a detective. I don't want to be a detective. I love the children because I look at these children like they are my children also, and you should do the same thing. But isn't that strange somebody would say this after your child have been kidnapped? Should you want all the publicity? Shouldn't you want all the light shine on you so that way we can at least narrow the gap to finding your child? Wow. Let's continue. But she says, but don't know the real ages of my kids. Why would we know the real ages of your children? If your child have been kidnapped and she's missing, what difference does it matter about the damn age? That's number 2. And what day this actually happened? We don't know because guess what? Y'all didn't report it when it actually happened. We'll debunk her with our own words. That's number 3. Then she says, I keep reading how the story is not adding up. No, it's not adding up because you all are not making it add up. It's not going to because they took what they wanted out of what we told them. Well, if that's the case, you have YouTube, you have Facebook Live. Y'all be on Facebook any other time. You go by the name of Autumn Vince on Facebook, the mom, and the guy Darian Vince, he goes by the name of Slim Vince, and everybody want to be Slim in Houston for some reason. I don't know why. It ain't even Slim half of them, but Darian is. Now, that's very strange. And then I guess they put their account on private or whatnot. That's their prerogative. Do what you want to do. But it's kind of strange that she would say that. But you all have a platform that you can voice your own opinions. And if that was my child missing, I'd be on YouTube all damn day long saying, yo, YouTube. I'd be on WorldStar. I'd be on everybody damn channel I could. But here you don't want the light shine on the situation. You know why? Because it's going to make people aware. That's the reason why. Let's continue. And then she also goes on to say, it's not going to because they took what they wanted out of what we told them. We spent almost 8 hours being interrogated, but not one piece of crucial information surfaced. What happened to the information surfaced when your child was getting hurt, when your child had half her skull removed and stuff from injuries, when the child protective workers said that she was being abused? What happened to all the information adding up then? It didn't matter then. Okay, then let's continue. But then she goes on to say they put us all in separated rooms. And I heard everything they were asking and what was being told to them. Left the part out how they banged his head against the car. Why would they bang his head against the car? And if he banged his head against the car, shouldn't he have a knot on his head instead of scratches? Do you know what a knot looked like instead of a damn scratch? I never heard of nobody going in and out of consciousness from a damn scratch. Look, I done seen people fall off damn houses and out of trees. Shit, I done climbed trees when I was young and used to climb on top of houses. Boys, that's what we do. Some of your tone girls did it too. And guess what? Fell out of the tree, fell off the house, and still didn't go into no damn coma and passing out for 24 hours. Come on now. She goes on and says this right here. She says, they left the part out how they banged his head against the car. We need to see the proof. We need to see the receipts. Also, how he has a lot of deep cuts all over his body. Well, shouldn't you all take pictures? You take pictures and put it on Facebook of your new Jordans. You take pictures when you in front of your damn cars and stuff. Shouldn't you do this your damn self? If you know people going to do that, come on now. Let's go on. And then she says how he was disoriented. How he was disoriented when he don't even have a damn cut over his face. If anything gonna be messed up on your body if somebody jump you, 3 men. I wouldn't give a damn if it's 3 white men, 3 Japanese men, 3 Chinese men. Guess what? You're gonna have some marks on your face. You just ain't gonna have no little cut on top of your damn forehead. Let's continue. Now, she goes on and said he was unconscious for 24 hours. He said he was slipping in and out of consciousness. Because he told us about him being in the back seat of the truck with his son and also his stepdaughter. So how was he unconscious? Do you know what unconscious mean? Unconscious mean you fully unconscious. You're not aware of shit. Period. Slipping in and out of conscious mean you're aware, then you fall back out. You go to sleep for about an hour or two, you wake back up, fall back out. That's what that means. Let's continue. And then she also says he was going in and out of consciousness throughout the entire ride. The ride where? Everyone want to say what they would have and should have been done. But bro, no matter how hard one person could have fought, shit could have turned out worse. How did he fight? We don't see no injuries. And if he did, why didn't y'all put that out there? Why didn't you show your hand? You know what I'm saying? Look, I went down trying to fight for mine. And I hope this makes sense to you all because we got to stop letting people feed us some bullshit. And also the video that she did with the news station, she didn't shed one tear. Ain't that kind of ironic? It's kind of like when these celebrities' moms and dads die. They don't shed one tear, some of them. And some of them when they die. You know what I'm saying? People they don't even share one tear. To me, that sounds very fake and orchestrated. Not saying it's fake what happened to Malia because she is truly missing. But the belief the fact they trying to put this out there, like, you know what I'm saying, the mom is grieving so bad. Where are the tears at? Because that was my child. I'll be crying, be boo-hooing. I'll be begging people to try to help me find my child. I don't give a damn who want to be a detective or not. That's crazy. When you do stuff like that, that shows that you're trying to hush people up. Then you're trying to shame them into hushing up. But we won't. We won't. And then also, she says this right here. And Darian stepped in and helped me raise my kids. Why would you say that when your daughter is missing? Shouldn't the whole thing be about your daughter instead of taking up for Darian and the way people come at him? Hell yeah, people going to come at him. You know why? Because we're looking at him very suspect. That's the reason why. I mean, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder together can see that. Anybody who knows him knows he has a heart of gold. You know, whoop-de-doo. I don't care what anyone has to say. My family is being spiritually attacked. And when I wanted the Amber Alert to take place, they didn't want to do it. But did you want to alert when your daughter was getting hurt? When she had half her damn head removed and stuff, not trying to be funny or mean? Did you want to alert then when this child was being hurt and the doctors was asking you, how did your child sustain this injury? And the only thing you could tell them, she fell off a table and hit her head on the marble floor. And they said, no, she couldn't have done that because this is too serious of an injury. Do you remember that? Wow. Let's go and continue. And she says, until my baby boy and Darian showed up at the hospital and realized Malia wasn't there. How do you just show up at the hospital? And these are her words. I'm going to show y'all the screenshot. These are her words. How he going to show up at the hospital and just realize that she wasn't there when he allegedly walked there the whole time? It took him 5 hours to walk 1 mile. How did you walk for 5 hours? Or you still talking to Malia like her ghost or her shadow right there or something? Make that make sense to me. And then she says, now you want to put out Amber Alerts and do all the other crap, but when we concerned about my family, everyone took the shit lightly and we could have been found Malia. For those who are creating search parties, thank you so much. And I mean that in most sincerest way. And I do also. Thank you to all the great people that volunteered in this search looking for this child. Thank you to everybody that put a word out there. And thank you to the people who put a video out raising awareness, because we're not trying to accuse nobody. Matter of fact, we don't want to accuse nobody. We want the child to come home safely. I don't understand that. But when you're trying to silence people and trying to really tell them to hush, like, to me, that sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like to you all, but that sounds like you're trying to hide something. Let's go and continue. And then it goes on to say a few more other things and show the man with the child and everything. But that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? But a picture can say 1,000 words. We're going on actions. That's all I'm trying to say right there. And you have to wonder this right here. You know, for 3 Hispanic men and Mexican men, really, I'm from Texas, from Houston, from Sugar Land. They don't normally approach black people like that. And I'm talking about Mexican and Hispanic people, you know what I'm saying? They don't normally approach you like that because they have a little bit more respect, because it'd be so much mess going on in the city, in Houston, in other areas, for as Mexicans and blacks. Let's just get that straight. So only way they'll do that if they want trouble. So I'm not saying they didn't want trouble because we have a story, but is the story true? And then allegedly, if you heard them say that your stepdaughter was pretty or whatnot, she looked sweet, did they speak it in Spanish? Do you know Spanish? Also, you have to take all that in consideration. And also, where is the defensive wounds that you put up a fight? And also that little scratch mark on your head, they couldn't have made you slip out of consciousness for those 24 hours. And also the moment that the dad did not show up in the child, and the daughter did not show up to the airport to pick up the mama later that evening, since they was on their way there. To me, that sounds very like, why didn't you alert the authorities? Who waits 24 hours almost to contact the authorities about their fiance that you love so much, your son and your daughter, to report them missing? Let me know what you all think, because it's a damn shame that, you know, we try to do good. At least some of us try to do good. I consider myself trying to do good. My goal is never to bash nobody, but you can't sit up here and tell people that they wrong when you sat up here and he sat up here and y'all hid so many things. This child was in and out the hospital, get out the hospital, be back in the hospital 3 weeks. And if that makes you mad, it's the truth. It's the facts. You can't get mad at me because it's all true. It's all documented. Let me know what you all think. But at the same time, I'm not saying Darian did this, but it's very suspect. I'm not saying that the mama knew about this. It's just very suspect, her response, because really you should be overjoyed that people give a damn enough about your child to raise awareness. And if that upset you, I'm sorry, you got to move to Mars or something else because it's a new, different day and age. We're tired of people telling us these fabricated stories, and we put our lives on the line because we get threats also for this mess. And then for them to turn around and say, well, you all want to be detective. I don't play detective. I don't want to be a detective. I say, I give my opinion. That's just my opinion. But when it's facts for its medical records, and from what I see with my own 2 eyes, we got to stop believing shit just because somebody else said with a straight face or what they trying to cry. And trust me, if that was you all, child, excuse me, when you be up there crying, would you be up there, tears be coming down your eyes so much? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just one tear. I did not see one tear fall from that woman's eye. Y'all let me know what you think. And I hope and I pray that they find her and they have called the search off, even though you have very few private, private entities still looking for her. But they call the majority of the search off due to the bad weather, due to increased flooding. But anyway, you all let me know what you all think and keep reposting this and keep putting it up because we need, number one, to hold these people responsible. Stop these people who's doing this type of mess. And also if the parents involved in it, not saying that they are, this goes for any parent. I did more story than this. They all need to be held accountable also because like I said before, whether you like it or not, these are all our children because when it affects one, it affects them all. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your family and friends. Until next time, stay blessed. Love those children or don't have them to keep your legs closed or give them to somebody else that will love them and appreciate them. Y'all stay blessed. I'm out.